I just sent you the code section.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right. Good morning. Welcome to the Board of Supervisors regular meeting. It is Tuesday, November 18th at 10 a.m. I will call this meeting to order. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okey dokes. Next up, approved meeting minutes dated November 4, 2025 and November 12, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Morning. I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments on the meeting minutes? Name. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed. The motion carries. Next up is to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions or comments on the agenda? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Item 5, approve consent agenda.
Madam Chair, I'll move item 5. Second.
Motion is,
Can I make a comment?
yep, just a second. Do you
Okay.
have any comments?
Okay, sorry. Yes, I do. I just have a question about 5C. It says accept and authorize a temporary position change. I guess for my office and my payroll clerk, do we do this a lot, or is it just starting, or
I
I guess
would-
that's my question.
I would recommend you ask Sheriff Fleener.
Okay, but is this for every department then we can do this?
I guess from my perspective, if it's in the budget, and I presume it is, since it seems to be replacing someone who's going to be out for a little bit for medical or other reasons, if they need to promote someone into that position, as long as it's in their budget, I think that would be within the authority of the department head, so long as the board agrees. So
So like, here's just a question, like I have somebody on maternity leave and I have other, departments helping. So could I put in for this, or I guess that's my question.
Other
Sure, you-
departments helping. This is within his own department.
Right. So,
it's a temporary promotion to a supervisory position, and then presumably would go back to his normal position. It makes sense to me. I think you could ask for that as well if you had a similar situation.
okay. Okay. Yep.
Any other questions or comments? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Item 6, approve and authorize Jamie Joel to attend the 2026 National Association of County Engineers Conference in Arlington, Texas.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Jamie, I believe this is approximately $1,752. If I'm reading the form correct. Okay, is that in your budget? Okay, just for anyone who could, because it's not on a microphone. Yes and yes. All right, any other questions or comments? Or did you have something, if you do, Jamie?
That there's no audio on the live feed.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, well, I see it there. All right. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. I'm assuming we just want to continue on because we're in the middle of a meeting. If not, please let me know.
Picking up your voice.
That's what I thought.
Want to give him a minute to try to figure it out?
Yeah.
I guess we'd have to
No
plow.
pressure, Joe.
Yeah.
Yes?
Great.
Will someone who is on there, please give a thumbs up or raise your hand or something so we can tell? Awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, item 7. Thank you very much to everyone. Review and place on file the Conservation Board 2024 to 2025 annual report per Matt Cosgrove, Conservation Director.
So moved.
Second.
Morning, everyone.
Second, Mr. Cosgrove, hello.
So the annual report is a requirement under 350 of the Iowa Code for the Conservation Board. One of the things that they need to provide. So we've done this a handful of ways over the years and changed the format a little bit this year based on we have updated the Conservation Board's strategic plan for the next 5 years. So the format basically follows that going into our mission and vision. And then from there, talking about obviously the Conservation Board members that have served. So you can see collectively, those 5 individuals have 58 years of collective service. So they've been a nice, steady, you can see some of them been there for almost 20 years and then one in their first term. So a good mix of folks and staff, dedicated staff that are now up to years in service of 165 years of service. So they do a fantastic job. I think this photo we have in here is the first time in like 15 years we've taken a staff photo. So we're able to actually get everybody in one spot at the same time. So that was good. Conservation Board manages a little over 2,200 acres on 24 different properties. So those are detailed in here as well. And then we move into the core strategies of the strategic plan. So 4 of those were identified. I pulled out some projects related to those and the goals that are set up in there. So diverse recreation was one of them. So included the collective efforts between your board and the Conservation Board to do the trail to Badger, trail project in Gowrie, and then the community center and trail project in Dayton were obviously big projects from the quality of life piece. Environmental education and land stewardship being the second strategy. Obviously the River's Edge Discovery Center and what that's brought to our staff and the public from an environmental education standpoint. School of the Wild, Karen Hansen has been doing a fantastic job with the 5th, 6th graders around the county and get them into a week-long program where we immerse them into our wildlife areas and Camp Winoki and a variety of different places. So that's a program that was designed by the University of Iowa, and we've implemented it here, and it's been a great success with most of the school districts. So we hope to continue to expand that. Coffee and Conservation is a new program that we brought in on once a month with a different conservation-related topic at the Discovery Center. It's been well received. And then also just a lot of the things that the environmental education staff of Karen and Aaron Ford have done with the intro to the outdoors, play and learn at the park, Adventures Day Camp, Wild Day Camp, Nature Story Hour, Nature Link Day Camp, Explore Day Camp, Toddler Time, Tuesday at 10 hikes, and the high school rec program, just to name a few. So they're busy folks. Land management and facility, or land and facility management are our next strategy, and that details the land management activity that the conservation staff has been involved in and some of the facility improvements around the county. And then lastly, strategy of organizational excellence. We've continued our shared partnership this year with a seasonal employee with Iowa State Extension from an environmental education standpoint. That's been a great partnership for us. We updated the Conservation Board's strategic 5-year plan, and we've expanded our Keepers of the Land volunteer program. So now we have folks that are volunteering their time 2 hours at a time down at the Discovery Center, but they're also out in our parks and wildlife areas on the trails, in the parks, and really kind of tailoring the volunteer program to those people's interests. And it's been a great success. So we really expanded our volunteer efforts. You see this time we do trail tracking on both our land trails, hard surface trails, and the OHV park with counters. So we've included that data in here to show kind of the last couple of years data of trail use and how that's been going. And then obviously with the investment that this board has made into the quality of life, we were successful in finding other grants and funding sources as matches to that money. And we were able to, you can see there, secure a little over $1.8 million in additional grants and additional fundraising for those projects. Almost done here, but the financial report lays out our basic expenditures from an operations standpoint. You can see at about 1.4 million. The special funds of REAP Trust and Trail funds for those projects for capital improvements, and then the Quality of Life Capital Improvement Fund of just under $5 million. So, and then the Meyer Marsh project that we're working with iDolls on the water quality improvement at Meyer Marsh. And then the revenues, you can see those are broken down by the different facility types and camping fees, the different funds, and you can see that's just under $2 million in revenue
that has been brought in. And then on the last page, it details the revenue by facility. So you can see by campground, by yurts, by tiny houses and that sort of thing. And that is 272, a little over 272,000. So that is the financial report. Appreciate this board's support and all that we've done and the collective efforts here, and look forward to the future.
Just want to thank you for everything that you and your team have done, particularly during and post-COVID. I know you've had to pivot a lot because a lot of folks are wanting to get out of the house. And you found ways to capture revenue and also creatively increase financial support via grants. Your quality of life initiatives and your programming are second to none. So I just wanted to thank you and your team for that.
Thank you. Obviously, you know, it's a team effort, so we couldn't do it without you guys.
Any questions or comments? All right, thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Item 8, review and allow MIS director to sign support master service agreement between IP Pathways and Webster County. This will be used on an as needed basis per Andy McGill, Webster County MIS/GIS director.
Madam Chair, I'll move item 8. I'll second it.
I have a motion second. Any questions or comments? Sir, come on down.
Good morning. Andy McGill, the MIS director for Webster County. IP Pathways has been, we've been doing business with them for probably since about 2013 or maybe even sooner, I don't even a little before that actually. And we've tried to use other vendors over the years for when we need support. And we keep going back to them because they're the ones that when I send them a request for support, they return and answer and usually will help us figure out what's going on. This is only as needed, especially like if I'm away, you know, on a trip or whatever. You know, I do, you know, bring my hotspot along, my laptop and everything along with me. Sometimes you need different set of eyes to do things. And sometimes when we have more complex problems, it's nice to have that extra layer of support. So they changed their practices. They were just, you know, when I would send them an email, they would go ahead and create a ticket and we would, you know, they would help us out. Well, they, you know, and they've changed their practices to protect them and also to protect us so that, you know, if something would happen, you know, it's, you know, they're not going to get sued for whatever it might be. So anyway, so I would like to keep them aboard because like I say, they do seem to respond when we need help. And it's been kind of hard to find a vendor to do that. So we are switching to a new virtual environment and I've asked them about that and they're gearing up for that too. So that even makes it even a better deal. So I just want to have this signed and recorded so that way next time I need their support, we can have it. So the rates in here, I know you guys may have had questions about that within there. Those are normal rates that most IT big shops like that charge. So I'm not gonna get around that no matter what I do. So
Any questions or comments? Thanks, Andy.
thank you.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Item 9, a public hearing, second consideration, an amendment to Chapter 3 Plating Ordinance, Section 636, subdivision plats, repealing paragraphs 1 and 2. Paragraphs 3 and 4 of this section shall remain in effect. There is a copy on file in the zoning office. I will open this public hearing at 10:14 a.m. Mrs. Abrams, do we have any written or oral comments? Okay. Mr. Johnson.
Good morning, Supervisors. Jeff Johnson, Planning and Zoning Administrator. Prior to this second consideration, county staff from the offices of the attorney, engineer, auditor, and the assessor and myself met last week and agreed that this written amendment should be moved forward and will help process the backlog of subdivisions that are currently on hold. So the main issue that needed clarification evolved around survey requirements, which requires the entire quarter to be surveyed and required disinterested parties to pay for their portion of land that is surveyed. We've required this because for various technical reasons, quarters are not exactly 40 acres. Therefore, the assessor could not know exactly how many acres were in some parcels. Since the deviation from the 40 acres is de minimis in nature, we agreed that the estimate would suffice. So, and that would suffice with no burden on the disinterested party. So, Darren, is there anything else you want to add to this at all? I
No,
know
we had-
worked closely with you and
We
really
had a pretty good
appreciate.
meeting that Jamie started between the first reading and this public hearing, second consideration. Just making sure we were all on the same page, understood what the arguments were, how things could be benefited and what our options were. Because I think we all were on the same page that we didn't want a disinterested third party within a 40 to get stuck with a survey bill when they didn't split anything. And so we kind of reset the rules as to how we're going to deal with that situation. So the party that's actually doing the division is the party that's going to be stuck with jumping through all the hoops for a subdivision and things of that nature, making sure they have road frontage that were concerns for the planning and zoning rules. And this, by passing this just lifts one additional ordinance restriction that's already covered by state laws. Just one piece of the puzzle that'll streamline the process along with the policy changes we discussed as a board or as a committee.
Higher, if it's a 40, for example, will still have to be surveyed, or is that per the assessor to determine whether it's just a split?
So the way we discussed it, unless there's some extraordinary circumstance that requires a more precise measurement, purposes of survey, then the third party let's say we've got a 40 that's split in the top, right? So, and the person in the bottom wants to split their 20 down there into 10 and 10. So how we were before this, they would have to survey their 10 and their 10. And also the guy up here had nothing to do with the transaction, was now forced to incur the cost of getting a survey done on his 20. So what will happen now is that person up top can just stay as the way they are already legally described for purposes of taxation. The top half of the 40, let's say, and the bottom half is where all the expense is going to be incurred. If that makes sense.
Any other questions or comments? Dalton, you've had your hand up for a while. Did you want to pipe in or no? Dalton's like, no. All right, I'm assuming not. So I will close this public hearing at 10:18 a.m. Thank you very much. Item 10, adopt resolution number 2025-39, approving projects in the Webster County urban renewal area. This is a roll call vote.
Move it first. Should we move and second it? And then do the roll call?
Yes.
So I guess the question would be is to schedule the third and final consideration, right, Darren?
Yes, since we never had a waiver, we need.
Yeah, I was
Final.
wondering why that wasn't on there.
And we apologize for that, but we'd be looking at the December 2nd date. So if you guys just want to take action on that, that'd be great.
So going back to item 9-ish. Darren, are we okay to do that here since it's not on the agenda?
Yeah, similarly to how we did it at the last meeting for this meeting, we can set the next meeting for the third and final reading.
Would anyone like to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Questions or comments? December 2nd. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Now, item 10, adopt resolution number 2025-39, approving projects in the Webster County urban renewal area. This is a roll call vote.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions or comments? All right, roll call.
Vote aye.
Cochran, aye.
Conrad, aye. Let it be known that this resolution passes unanimously with the exception of Supervisor Hike, who is not with us today. Item 11, approve and authorize chair to sign urban annual urban renewal report and tax increment financing indebtedness certification report. Say that 3 times fast, John.
So moved.
Second.
Second, any questions or comments? And please don't ask me to say it again. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the motion carries. Item 12, approve final pay application number 12 to Nick Sesker Construction in the amount of $139,660.94 for the construction of the Dayton Community Center per recommendation of Matt Cosgrove, Conservation Director.
Madam Chair, I'll move item 12.
I'll second it.
We have a motion second. Mr. Cosgrove again.
So this is the final pay application for the Dayton Community Center. As you remember, we are the fiscal agent for this. It's tied to the trail project. These two projects are tied together, and the Destination Iowa Award for Dayton and Webster County at $800,000. So Webster County is managing both the expenditures and the revenue side of that project. You can see that the bill for the final pay application is a little over 261,000, but we are only paying 139,660. That's because we have met our fulfilled our requirement by obligation at that amount. So the city of Dayton approved last night at their meeting to pay the remaining balance of that and accept that project as closed. So this will be the final process of that. And then this, with the only project we have left open for quality of life, is the one that we are wrapping up on the Central River District project around the Discovery Center, that the city has actually taken the lead on that project. And we have the final walkthrough on Thursday for that project. So we're on track like we had planned to close all these projects out from an expenditure standpoint by the end of the calendar year, and then hopefully get all our reimbursements put together by the end of the fiscal year. So still on target, but reimbursements are taking 6 months to get. So we'll see how that plays out, but that's still what we're trying to push for.
Cool. Appreciate that. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the motion carries. Thanks. Next up is citizens' opportunity to address the board with items not on the agenda. Don't everybody rush at once. Okay, Board of Supervisors Committee report. Supervisor Thode.
Nothing to report at this time.
Supervisor Cochran.
Well, I attended a meeting on homelessness at First Methodist, though there were other two board members here. I'll let them go in more detail because I got a lot more. There is a landfill meeting tonight. There will also be a CICS and a Midas board meeting this week. Also from Midas, there's an informational meeting at 1 o'clock today about the Regional Transport Improvement Plan at the Midas building at 602 First Avenue South. My CICS meeting will be Thursday at 2. And over the last 2 weeks, I attended 2 separate meetings to meet about the behavioral and mental health, to meet with the behavioral mental health professionals in the Iowa Primary Care District 2 area. So that's been my time.
Oh, Supervisor Montgomery. All right. Mrs. Abrams, did you have anything? Mr. Driscoll.
Going to Des Moines tonight, where we're having a gavel passing ceremony, where I'm going to be installed as the president of the State County Attorneys Association.
What?
Yeah.
That's
I'm president
fantastic.
elect right now.
Well,
Yeah.
cool. Congratulations, Darren. Awesome. All right. Got a lot here. Since last time I had a public art commission meeting on Thursday, the 6th, there was a lot of discussion regarding Sculpture Park, which we'll have more information on soon, but that should be cool. Again, the Veterans Day commemoration was on the 11th at Fort Dodge Middle School. I wanted to thank you to everyone who was involved with putting on that event, Tom Dorsey, the middle school band, et cetera, and let folks know that we extend our gratitude to our veterans in Webster County and beyond. Also had a visit Fort Dodge meeting, was Wednesday the 12th. We had it at the Pavilion, which is really neat to go see that facility and check out everything that it has to offer kids a lot, but all citizens and guests. Thursday, the 12th, there, as Supervisor Cochran said, there was a community conversation on homelessness at First United Methodist Church. It was really great to hear from everyone. I wanted to thank Pastor Luke Fillmore, Pastor Danny, and of course, Brian with the Beacon of Hope for putting on an interesting, educational, and hopefully continuing event that talks about this neighborhood in particular, but homelessness all throughout the county as well. Had city county last week. The mayor-elect was talking about his vision. So that was a big part of that meeting. Coming up today at 5 p.m., the Small Business Task Force quarterly educational sessions will be happening at Bloomers. I'm really excited to go because I love Bloomers and I think they're opening up again soon. That's downtown here, near the Matt Cosgrove Rivers Edge Discovery Center, not too far away from there. Thursday, the 20th at noon is the Greater Fort Dodge Growth Alliance Meet and Eat. This time it's a quarterly meet and eat. This time we're going to be visited by a special guest, which is the Lieutenant Governor of Iowa. So I'm excited to talk to her about what she does and what she thinks of what we're doing here in Webster County. Friday, the 21st is the Visit Fort Dodge Nomination Committee meeting that morning. Let's see. Wanted to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving because we won't be meeting before then. And then Monday, looks like I said, the 1st of the month, I'm going to be having a meeting with the VA here. And I think that's all for me. So next up is to allow claims.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments on claims? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? The motion carries. If there's no further business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank